What is up, guys? It's Powerbang, and I'm bringing you guys another episode of AxePB. We do have the Battle Axe back in the studio. This bad boy ran off on me. The kids took it, lost it. Oh, it was painful. But anyway, we got it back. Special package was delivered this week, and the Battle Axe is back. So, that being said, we're going to hop right into some questions today that you guys have been nice enough to send my way. Would love to get those answered for you. Without further ado, let's start off with the first one here. And that will be right above my head, Devotion. I love the name. While we're doing this, let's go ahead and look at some farm raids that I've been absolutely killing. I mean, the loot, guys. I mean, I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. But anyway, Devotion says, what is the most DE you've ever gotten in a raid? And will you ever make a push to Legends League? The most DE I've ever gotten in a raid, there were quite a bit of DE in this raid and the next one that I'm going to show. But the most that I can remember getting was about 7,900 and change, or like 7,930 in the storage and collectors. And then whatever the bonus was at the time, maybe like 150k of each or whatever the bonus was. So that would put it at about 1,200 Dark Elixir. So probably a little bit over 9,000 in one raid, not counting the daily star bonus. So good question, man. Kevin asks, are you upping, or he's upping to Town Hall 10 soon. What is my priority #1 troop upgrade? Also, max heroes or DE troops first? That's a great question. As you can see, look at the power of the queen and the king in this raid. Like, I don't even have my king maxed yet, but they're just absolute beasts, powering through a Town Hall 11, near max level defense in this, you know, level 4 Infernos, max level Eagle, max Expos, the whole works. And the heroes are absolutely beasts. So what I recommend is your first priority in troop upgrades. As for now, the miner is probably the strongest troop in the game at Town Hall 10 and 11. So I would probably go with miners first. Secondly, the bowlers are incredibly powerful right now. You know, the old answer used to be, oh, for sure, get your hogs up, get your Valks up. That's all fine and good, but for right now, I'd go with the miner and the bowler, as they're the most impactful in your war raids. Now, if you have other goals like farming and whatnot, that's totally your personal preference. Upgrade whatever you want. But for war, miners and bowlers, man, that's where it's at. Now, as far as heroes versus DE troops, definitely pick a couple of DE troops that is going to allow you to have a chance to 3-star. The miners and bowlers are a great option. And then after that, get that queen to level 40 ASAP. You'll notice my queen here, level 40, powering through this Town Hall 11 base, just absolutely smacking it down. Look at all the loot gained right up there. Looks like 1.3 million so far with a couple thousand Dark Elixir. So just absolutely crushing it. On my way to get some more here. So great question, Kevin. All right, next up, we got Izam Kazi. Apologies if I butchered the name, man, but doing the best I can. He says, thoughts on the Clan Challenge Clash of Clans just announced. Now, the Clan Challenge that was just announced is basically, for lack of a better term, the arranged war feature that a lot of us have been looking for quite some time. Now, it's probably not going to come off as, you know, exactly what we were wanting or envisioning as far as arranged wars go, but the fact that you can control with certainty who you're going to match up against, and also control the parameters of that matchup, that leaves me incredibly excited. I cannot wait for the future. Specifically for me as a streamer and a content creator, this is going to give me the opportunity to really do a lot of neat things with regards to streaming, with regards to tournaments, getting different clans involved. We can eliminate the needless prep day that, you know, goes on for a full 24 hours now, and will even allow us to hold tournaments and stuff on the weekends. So really excited for this feature. Probably the most excited for the Clan Challenge than I have been for any other single update in the history of Clash of Clans. All right, so we'll check out the next raid here, and another absolute beast of a loot find here. Again, this is a ring-style base, and we're hitting it with that Queen Walk Miner. All right, so Tim Harrison asks, how many of your war replays are fresh 3-star hits? Just curious, because there's no doubt that scouting helps a lot. No, absolutely, Tim Harrison. I completely agree with you. The scouting helps a ton. And now, for the most part, I would say that we run between a 50 and 60% fresh hit rate on Town Hall 9s in a very difficult war. If we're in a farming style of war, like if we're just doing a normal opponent, not arranging anything, that hit rate's probably up closer to 70 or 80%. So the Town Hall 9s are much more likely to be fresh hits. Now, as far as Town Hall 10s go, if it's an arranged war setting, it's very rare that there are fresh hit Town Hall 10 3-stars. I would say that the majority of them have scouts prior to having the finished product. And what you're seeing in the war recaps are typically an attack that has been, either attempted in part or it's a cleanup of an earlier raid. The Town Hall 11s, almost always those are cleanups because 99% of the time we actually hit those bases early in war for 2 stars to try to get those in the bag for sure. So great question. All right, next up, we've got Corona Guard Gaming asking, if I could have any superpower, what would it be? That's a great question, actually. Gotta think on this one. What about, honestly, probably immortality. Not being able to die and staying the same age. Now, the reason I say this is because there's so many periods in history where it's like, man, it would have been cool to live through that era. It would have been cool to live through that time. Just for curiosity's sake to kind of experience it. And I guess if you live forever, similar to a vampire or something, that would be a question that you wouldn't have because you would have lived through all that stuff. Not to mention you could probably take a lot more risks and do some crazy things, skydiving and whatnot, without the fear of actually having your parachute not open. So, another good question. Let's go to the next raid here. And Calpit is going to ask, does the Inferno negate healing for the damage of all other defenses as well? So he's talking about when the Inferno tower locks onto your defense. Let's go ahead, watch a fail here. I believe this one wall breaker failed. Yeah, this archer tower here, watch this. It does not lock onto my queen. I send my wall breakers. But to get back to the question, does the Inferno tower negate the healing for the damage of all other defenses as well? So basically when troops approach that Inferno tower, it has 5 beams if it's set to multi-target, and they lock on to whatever, is closest, basically. When those beams are locked onto the target, those targets' healing from all sources is disabled completely. So if that means it's your heroes, that means that the healers that are on them, any heal spells that are on them, it is completely negated. The only thing that can reverse that is the Grand Warden ability, the Eternal Tome. And once that happens, the queen and any other troop in that Grand Warden's life aura radius is completely invulnerable, and you cannot damage it at all. So basically, when you get in the range of the Inferno, have a plan for how you're going to deal with it, whether it's a freeze or maybe a rage to get your troops through really quickly. Because yes, every troop that's in that Inferno damage radius is affected and will not be able to receive healing from any source, so the damage of multiple defenses on it is amplified. All right, next up, we've got, hi, I am Fani asks, were you disappointed like the Clashers on SC? So, were you disappointed like the Clashers of Supercell canceling the ClashCon for 2016? So, are you mad? Here's the stare, right? I've already screwed up. My Queen Walk didn't go. I was like, how can I get all of the collectors? So I was salvaging collectors here. Got collectors all around the base. And then I want this guy right here, this Dark Elixir. So how are we going to get that? Just watch. Were you disappointed that Supercell canceled ClashCon in 2016, which was supposed to be in November in LA? Now, from a selfish perspective, yes, I was disappointed because that is one less opportunity that I go to get to hang out with my, friends at Supercell, my friends in the YouTube community, and also with the clashing community that I love. So, from a selfish standpoint, yes, I was a little bit bummed, a little bit upset. So, from a, realistic standpoint, as far as Supercell is concerned, I was actually very happy that they chose to cancel this because I happen to be aware of some of the stuff coming out in upcoming updates. It's awesome. Very, very excited for it. Now, that being said, they have a very small staff at Supercell. They work in very small teams, and if they're going to do something like an event, knowing them, they typically go all out. So that means, let's put up another raid here while you guys are watching. No Dark Elixir really in this one, but that's all right. So when they do something, they pretty much go all out. That means no hold barred, no stone left unturned. They're going to do it, and they're going to do it right. So Queen's going to walk the wrong direction here again because she's awesome, but that's cool. So with those small teams, in mind, that means that they're basically going to have to take away from what they're doing in the office in order to focus for months at providing resources and time and preparation and dry runs and rehearsals for this event that is supposed to last a day or more. It is a lot of work, guys, to keep an event like that up and going in a polished format where it's impressive, which is like their standard of excellence, right? And I totally understand if they are literally canceling the event because they have other priorities and things that they wish to focus on. I don't fault them for that at all. A little bummed out about it, yes, but if it's going to mean that we have a better product in the end, I'm all for it. So build us a better game, Supercell. Put some of the changes in that I suggested in my top 25 video. And, keep doing the things that you say you're working on. The Clan Challenge is a great example. If you guys are able to polish that up and get that done, totally worth not having an event. And we can always have one later once we get the footing back under us for the community in general. All right, so John Crostis says, why don't you include enemy attacks in your war recaps? That's a great question. We do war recaps 2 to 3 times a week, John. And each time I do one, if I was to include the enemy attacks on our base, that means that base is now exposed. The traps, the clan castle compositions, where the Teslas are, all of that is then burned, essentially. That means when we have an arranged war against an elite opponent where every single attack matters, and all of those are very passionate players that look up on YouTube, has this base been exposed before? It's almost like having a free scout if I show these enemy attacks in our recaps. So, like, for example, we played Powercock tonight. Very good clan. It was an arranged war on, what's today? Thursday? Arranged war on a Thursday. Now, we have another war this weekend that's arranged starting Saturday. Now, the people that we play on Saturday, if I showed my raids in the recaps, they just go to my channel and they look up, oh, there's the raids that PB showed, and there's 5 bases there that the enemy hit my clan, and they basically have a free scout with all of that information right there. They just copy the 3-star raid, and boom, that's, one more notch in the belt for the opponent. Now, that actually hurts us quite a bit, and it also frustrates our base building team because they're having to work awfully hard to provide bases for the whole group, not just themselves. So we've got a team of folks that actually proactively makes many bases, is always churning them out. And when we unnecessarily burn them up during the week, showing them in war recaps on YouTube, where you really don't get any additional value by seeing the enemy attacking our bases, because you're seeing the same thing essentially when we attack them. So I choose to show that and protect our bases just as a competitive advantage. Otherwise, it would be putting us really behind the 8 ball, and that would kind of suck. All right, guys, so we've got one more question, and I'm going to end this by doing a live attack. I don't even know if I have any troops. No CC, it looks like. That's okay. That is okay. So the last question here is, why can't we get XP while donating in the War CC? Will Supercell ever change this? Now, that is a great question. I probably should have loaded up my CC before I made this video, because this is going to be a terrible attack. That's okay. If we don't find a base, we don't find a base. But I'm going to try to find something awesome to hit real quick to kind of round this thing out. But anyways, that's a pet peeve of mine as well, Siam. What he's talking about, guys, is on preparation day. When you declare a war, you match with somebody. When you donate troops to the war clan castles, not only do you not get XP, you don't get credit for those donations for your friend in need challenge. And that's where the majority of my personal donations go. Like, there's been so many times where I've literally gemmed troops for my entire clan and put them in the war clan castles, and there is no record of that ever even happening. And I can't tell you how many times that's happened. That's a little bit frustrating, and I feel like you should be able to level up a little bit simply by, donating to war CCs and getting credit for that in the process. Will Supercell ever change this? I feel like that's a probably something that they can definitely consider. I don't feel that it's going to affect their bottom line at all. I don't think it's going to impact their revenue. Here's a base. Here we go. I don't think it'll impact their revenue or anything like that. So yeah, I think that's something that they could definitely work on. as a matter of fact, I think I'll probably talk to them about it. When this video's over, I will reach out with your tweet specifically, and I will say, hey, what is the story with this? And then we'll see what we can get accomplished. So now we're going to transition here to a little raid action. So we're going to go in, hopefully get a little queen action here. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to have to drop the rage here, keep her up. There's the queen. So I'll have to pop my ability, unfortunately. Boo! Oh well. So let's pop this open and this open. And let's go here. And I'm going to expose that Inferno tower and then empty the CC. Of course it's a golem. Of course it's the golem. So get that. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's pop the ability. And then where's the queen? We already got her down. We'll poison the king. So let's go here. Would have been cool having a CC, but you know, it's all gravy. So we're gonna go here, drive those miners through. We'll heal them up. There's the poison on the king. And then as we're in the core here, we want that. That was terrible. That was a terrible free. It's really hard to commentate a farm raid at the same time as actually doing the attack. I am finding that out right now. So I'm trying to kind of get through the base here. I was trying to keep the queen up, but, you know, not quite going like I had planned. The healers are kind of going down slowly, and I'm trying to basically get this elixir before we're all said and done here. We did get the dark elixir, and that is all going great. And then maybe getting the 70%. Come on, get that last little bit of elixir. Nope, not going to get it. So we're going to shoot for the 70%. Doesn't look like we're going to get there, but, you know, oh well. Had a little bit of a misfire, but we got some good loot. We'll close it out with that. I'm happy with it. So 650,000 plus another, so over 1 million resources there combined. So not bad. Looking at the old farm log lately, going pretty well. Come on, what's with the lag here? All right, so check out the bottom couple raids there. Just the loot, the ridiculous amount of loot. Pretty stoked with the way that's going. Getting close to maxing out the king. He's going to be going to level 38 here pretty quick. But that has been AxePB, guys. Made some changes to the format. Let me know what you think. And as always, if you are interested in asking me a question, having me answered on the channel, having you have a chance to get a little feature like this, feel free to check me out on Twitter. And then you make sure you use the hashtag AxePB. Twitter is @Powerbang Gaming. Look up there at the top of the screen. And also in the description. So that is going to do it for this episode, guys. This is Powerbang, and I'm signing out until next time. Feel free to leave me your questions over the next week. Take care. My keys aren't working now, so I'm just going to stare at the screen awkwardly. This is that once weekly see you later where it doesn't really work. So now we're breaking up now. Good tidings.